All right, we're live. Okay, so today we're going to be going over minerals and iodine. And there's iodine in this one as well. So the plan for tonight, we'll see where it goes. I'm going to smoke a pork tenderloin and I'm going to do some burgers and I'm going to do the deal. I'm going to try to do the deal where you dent the burger patty and you crack an egg in it right before it gets done. So you get the kind of that over easy egg with everything else. But we're going to do a bacon guacamole with it. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm super excited about it. And so obviously we'll do, some type of dessert. Most likely, I'll do, we got some new cookies and some Dunkies or Dunkers or whatever they're called. So we'll try those as well. But we're going to start doing, like I said, we're going to start doing some stuff here in a little bit on just quick reviews on different, keto type stuff, stuff that works for the diet, just so people can get more acquainted with the options that are on the diet. But anyway, so I want to run through some really important stuff. So minerals are really important. When we talk about electrolytes, those are minerals. When we talk about a lot of the cofactors that make your chemistry in your body work, a lot of that's minerals. There's lots of cool things minerals will do. Like for instance, this one has boron in it. Boron helps push down the sexual binding globulin hormone, and that will free up more testosterone, more functional testosterone. So I always tell people you never need more than enough. But one of the problems we get into with, especially with hormones, when people don't understand how hormones play, there's a lot of checks and balances in the body, which is a phenomenal thing for peptides. So when you start playing with peptides and you get into that the checks and balances of the body work really well for you. Make it a little bit safer, make it a little bit easier to play with. But in this case, some of those checks and balances we want to kind of push off. So the boron helps kind of bring down the binding globulin so that you have more free testosterone for the body. Again, that means that you don't have to take as much testosterone to have it functionally work the way you want it to. Again, there's a lot of things in the body that it's just the chemistry. If you can figure out how the chemical machine works, it's pretty easy. You just walk it through and everything's fine. This is why we're doing this one. I do have an issue, and we'll have to see kind of where it plays out. People keep talking about this hydrates better than water. Nothing hydrates better than water. Hydration is a water thing. It is not an electrolyte thing. You have to separate the two. You need a specific amount of water and you need a specific amount of electrolytes. The problem we get into is that if you drink too much just bare water that doesn't have minerals in it, you end up flushing out some of the minerals that you have in you as well. So you have to then you have to increase your electrolytes as well, which is why we need to look at these as two separate things. How much water do you need to get in? How much mineral do you guys need to get in? Because if you're trying to mix the two together and I'll just drink salt water because that has electrolytes, that's a horrible plan. It just is. You need the bare water so that your body can use it like a dump truck and put all the waste in it and expel it out, whether that's through your breath, through your urine, through your feces, through your sweat. You need clean water going in, but you also need to recognize that you need the electrolytes and the minerals and things like that. So one of the big ones that you need is iodine. And while there is some in here, I take extra iodine just because. If you're familiar with thyroid hormone, T3 and T4, if you know that there's a T3 and a T4, you're way ahead of most medical doctors because all I see on blood tests is TSH, which is a brain hormone, not a thyroid hormone. So if your doctor pulls TSH and T4 and tries to tell you that you need medication, stop talking to that doctor. They don't know what they're doing. Free T3, free T4 is really what you want to see. If you want to look for brain tumors or brain function, then you can add the TSH. That's all that happens. The TSH is kind of how the body, it's like telling your teenager to go clean your room. Did you tell your 16-year-old to go clean his room? I did. Did he clean his room? Well, I told him to, so obviously it happened. That's kind of how TSH works. TSH can be high, can be low. That does not dictate function from the thyroid. One of the big things, so the difference between T3 and T4, your body makes 80% of all thyroid hormone, it makes this T4. T4 is not functional. It has to lose an iodine to become T3 for it to be active in the body. And now, when we start looking at that, you go, oh, well, how much thyroid hormone am I producing? You go, oh, I'm not producing enough thyroid hormone. Well, I wonder what's wrong with me. You're probably not getting enough iodine. T3 has 3 iodines. T4 has 4 iodines. It's pretty easy to remember. So, but here's the problem. If you don't have enough iodine, your body can't make it. And so you need to bring in more iodine so your body can make more thyroid hormone. One of the things we do a lot of times when we bring people in and they've got thyroid issues like Hashimoto's or something like that, you've got to repair the whole rest of the system, gut to adrenals, adrenals and thyroid, because the way that the thyroid is on top of the axis. So it's the gut, the adrenals, the thyroid. So if you want to fix the thyroid, you have to fix the gut and you have to fix the adrenals. That's just the way the body sits. You can throw iodine at it and it'll help, but you're not going to get the Hashimoto's or those sort of things to resolve until you actually start fixing the body and giving it back the chemistry it needs to, so it can sit on a stable base. That's why, like, we get people in here all the time. Oh, I've had Hashimoto's and I've had this done and that done, and nothing helped. Well, all right. So you got to restore the bottom pieces. Most of the time, you have to give them testosterone as well, because again, the body works as a system. It's not an individual thing. It's not a car where you can just replace the brakes or replace the tires or replace, you know, this one thing and everything gets better. It's a stacked system. So everything that has to work from the bottom up. So that's a really big piece. But the iodine is a really, really big player. So make sure you guys are getting your iodine in. This one, you guys, most people are going to get the majority of the iodine they need from this. No big deal. This one I put in my water. I'll just put a dropper or so in my water and just drink it until my water is gone. Usually it's a half a gallon, so I usually get through it by, you know, way before my workout. So I'll get it done with 11 o'clock. So if you guys are looking for a way to get iodine in, this is a great option. You guys have to go to their, this is a wellness resources thing. You have to go to their place and order it from them, but this is a great one. Not all the stuff that we have is stuff that it has my label on it. Again, never buy anything from Amazon. If you guys are going to buy supplementation, buy it from the actual guy's website, because there's way too much counterfeit stuff going on. So if you guys want this one, oh, that is horrible camera-wise. The one for Instagram is a little better. So that's the one we use. That's one I use. Like I said, put a dropper in my water, bring it down. Again, a lot of this stuff I take more than I need, and I'm also 230 pounds, and I'm about 8.5%, 9% body fat. So the dosages that you guys are going to need are going to be different than what I take. So don't listen to how much I take of everything and be like, oh, I'm a 110-pound woman, I'm going to take all that same stuff. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. Have somebody, like, work with somebody who knows where your body is, what your deficiencies are, where your stuff is, and they can properly figure out how much you need for your body. We've got 120-pound women who take more than I do of certain things. Myo-inositol is one of the big ones. I don't take myo-inositol, but we'll go over that one next. We can go over it now. Myo-inositol is a phenomenal nutrient for anyone with endometriosis, PCOS, hard, menstrual cycles, things like that. I've got one patient that it helps keep her urinary tract infections away because of what it does to her uterus. Your body has to function off of a woman's body requires two different types of inositol, myo-inositol and D-inositol. It's supposed to be basically 100 to 1, 100 myo to 1 D. For some reason, and I don't know if it's chemical toxins, I don't know if it's stress, I don't know if it's nutrient deficiency, we don't necessarily know, but we're seeing a lot of women, especially as time goes on, more and more women who have a closer to 1-to-1 ratio of myo-inositol to D-inositol, and it messes up everything inside as far as hormonally goes. So half the time we get these PCOS or endometriosis women in, and we'll figure out how much myo-inositol they need, and 4 or 5 days later, they're like, man, 50-60% of my problem's gone. Then we just balance xeno and phytoestrogens, and we get another 15-20% knockdown. So it works really, really well. So if you guys have endometriosis or PCOS, definitely look at myo-inositol. The one that I like, the one we've been using in all our patients, is on the Pillars of Wellness website or the cwellstore.com website. You guys can try that one out. If you're unfamiliar with it, take one in the morning, one at night, see how you do. If you're like, that helped, but not all the way, take 2 in the morning, 2 at night. Unless I can sit down and put the whole thing together and figure out everything you need, that's gonna be the best option for you. But a lot of you guys are gonna need more iodine. It's almost as bad as D3. Everyone I've ever tested needs more D3. However, almost everyone I've ever looked at has needed more iodine. The other problem we get into with iodine and the thyroid is that fluoride, which is in all of our water and most of your toothpaste, competes directly at the thyroid for binding sites with iodine. So the fluoride is keeping you from producing enough thyroid hormone. So, and that's in all your water, it's in your ice, it's in, like I said, a lot of your toothpaste, stuff like that. So they tell you that it makes your teeth better. I've never read any actual research that proves that. However, fluoride is highly toxic and highly corrosive. So it is what it is. So kind of take a look at that if you're worried about the fluoride. Look more into that because it is not as good as people think it is. Get your iodine in. Make sure you get your minerals in. This is a big, big deal, especially for my athletes, my endurance athletes. Massive, 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 massive thing. If you ever sweat and your sweat's dripping off your face, taste it. If it's super salty, you're fine. If it's not salty, you need a bunch of minerals. And to be fair, if it's salty, you might have plenty of like sodium chloride, but you don't have enough, of any of the other potassium or magnesium or things like that. So we're gonna go over some magnesium stuff next time. So and I will start posting pictures of the food again. I'm excited. We'll see how my smoking a hamburger with an egg in it goes. But I'll post pictures of the insanity regardless. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for your time. I'll see you guys at about 2:30.